Previamente, con cena con corredores.
Cuba, 1958. What was this time like?
It was a time of crisis.
And the strategy of the movement from the beginning was to have this massive revolutionary underground in the cities.
Everything is great!
So, what better time than to put on a huge sports event to show to everybody outside of Cuba that everything is great? The 26th of July movement realizes they need to make an impact.
Let's kidnap the most famous, successful, and sexiest race car driver in the world. And that would only be Fangio.
They ask, who of you are Fangio? I'm Fangio.
Juan, you will have to come with us.
The following production was not directed by Vince Gilligan.
Have you ever met Miss Lindy? She's a gal with the bright red hair. Now she stands high from all the rest. You know her anywhere. Well, she's mine. Yeah, she's mine. Well, I love that little girl with the bright red hair. Well, Miss Lindy, my Miss Lindy. Well, I love that little girl with the bright red hair. Well, I love that little girl with the bright red hair.
You a fan of Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
Do you have a favorite character from that show?
Probably the uncle.
So if we were going to have a house with Juan Fangio kidnapped inside of it, what do you think it would look like if it was themed after like Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad?
Probably be pretty rough. Probably some cooking going on. I think it'd be a good way to set it up. Get some musicals going through the cooking. Be
Okay.
festive.
So he gets walked out of the place, he gets put in a car, there's 3 cars, they leave. He gets taken to a house. Where do they go?
So one of the kidnappers' house, they get there, stop, and there was a lady with a little child.
Yo diría que eso es una cosa a veces que uno tiene que reírse. Manuel Uciel acababa de tener un bebé. Y para él era muy importante que Fangio conociera a su hijo. Entonces se desviaron. Además, lo hizo sin permiso. Eso no estaba en el programa, en el plan del secuestro. Yo quiero que conozca a mi hijo.
Now, you and I are not fathers. It's possible he's a new father while mom is home with baby. That he's kind of got to justify what he's doing.
I'm not screwing around.
Yeah, I'm not screwing around.
I
Then he's
swear.
like, no, babe, I'm working. And then he brings the biggest name in sports home.
The band's gonna make it, okay? I've got really good ideas.
So that baby is now named Juan Manuel.
Yes.
Any truth to he put the foot of the baby on the ink pad and then put that on the birth certificate? Is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Entonces, ¿aquí o ahí?
Es aquí, en ese
¿Paro aquí?
Okay, so first thing they do is they take Fangio to a house to meet a baby, which would be like getting a selfie, basically proving that you've got Juan Manuel Fangio. Then they come here.
They brought him here. This was the first safe house.
How long was Fangio here?
Maybe 1 hour.
An hour.
1 hour,
Okay.
no more.
As I think we understand it because, well, we saw it.
Yeah.
It's an ideal location because it's kind of in the middle of a neighborhood. It doesn't stand out. It's got a subterranean garage, so you can kind of hard cars there.
Get
and
people
no
in
one's
and
gonna
out
know.
without
Yeah.
them seeing you get in the car.
It's on the backside of a large convent, which kind of blocks a lot of the viewing, but no one's looking out their backyard to
Yeah.
see it. It's
Yeah.
a really subtly hidden spot that's not hidden.
So he gets picked up at the hotel. They drive here. They try to hide out here.
When he gets to the second house, there was an unexpected event, that there was somebody there who was very injured that wasn't supposed to be there, but they were sort of dropped off at that house because it was the closest of the...
It's like a safe house. So this is the house where one of the guys was making a Molotov cocktail. It goes wrong. He gets burned. So
Yeah,
then they're afraid
exactly.
that there's going to be like maybe police or somebody coming because of that. So they have to get Fangio to another house.
To protect Fangio.
Yeah, yeah.
And this house have 2 entrances.
Entrances and exits. So he has 2 of them. He was.
So a church is going to be kind of a nice area. You wouldn't expect bad things to be going on.
Quiet.
Very quiet. And there's a way to get out the back if someone shows up at the front. I also noticed there's a garage down here. So I'm guessing you could drive in, do the change out down there, drive out. And then they change cars and go to the next place.
Car. Angel Fernandez Villa was there, and he was the chauffeur.
Okay, so this is the first time Vila and Fangio get together to drive.
¿Dónde está la foto de Fangio por allá que me enseñó ahorita? That's Fangio. Fangio's picture right
Yeah, I
there.
see.
Juan Manuel.
Yeah.
Este es el jefe del movimiento aquí en La Habana.
And he also was the chief of kidnapping.
Ho Chi Minh,
Oh, Ho Chi Minh. Yeah. See.
era de Vietnam.
Yes.
Estuve allá con él 2 años. Estuvimos allá.
So you have a very young and self-admitted terrible driver,
Yes.
Fernandez Villa, taking the car.
Fernández Villa tenía 26 años. Pero él, como era una posibilidad que le manejara Fangio, que de buenas a primeras te digan, tienes que llevarlo para otro lugar. Cuando no es lo que tú... Es decir, tú estabas allí porque era una posibilidad. Cuando Fernández Villa se sienta al timón y sabe que quien lleva atrás no es solamente una persona que está secuestrada, es que lleva al 5º campeón mundial de automovilismo.
Había un carro, había un vehículo, era el mío, que no iba a estar parado en el hotel para que no lo chequearan, porque era muy peligroso. Los otros 3 carros estaban frente al hotel, seguro que lo chequeó la policía y así. Como. El mío estaba en otro lugar, en 15, en el Vedado. Entonces, cuando llegamos ahí, me uní a ellos. Ellos se retiraron los carros por si estaban chequeados. Y yo me ocupé de llevarlos pues, en el lugar donde se quedó.
Cuéntanos esa historia. A ver, cuando conoció a Fangio, ¿cómo era Fangio? ¿Qué tal?
El chico Fangio era un hombre muy callado. Pero en el fondo un hombre, bueno, un poco irónico. Irónico, como se dice, una persona que...
Sarcástico.
Pero un poco burlón. Sí, un poco burlón. Pero era un hombre muy callado y de política no te hablaba nada. No sabía nada, ni se metía en nada. Su problema era el timón. Me dio una impresión de un hombre muy poco, vaya, muy metido en él mismo.
Muy reservado.
Muy reservado, sí. Oye, me tocó aquí, me dice, pues ándale despacio y todo saldrá bien.
¿Quiere que le busque?
Oye, todo el mundo se rió. Y como se ríe todo el mundo, cuando diga, ándale despacio, pues. el as de la velocidad nos está diciendo que tuviéramos en clase.
Just drive slowly, and everything will be okay.
Llegamos, señor. Do you know Vince Gilligan?
Yeah.
Do you think he could have directed some of the conversations?
That's the most convincing suggestion you've made so far.
Yeah.
But here's the issue with Vince Gilligan. It's like Vince Gilligan, the problem with Vince Gilligan, I love all those shows, but you know, his whole sort of vibe, portraying people in the Southwest, portraying Mexicans as nothing but gangsters and this and that.
Right.
Little problematic.
Oh, a little touchy.
A little touchy, a little problematic.
Okay.
So.
So now they have to move Fangio to a third house.
Yes, and they went to the new Vedado, the high society of La Habana.
The final house.
The final house.
Yep.
The Norteña's house.
So the Norteña, New Vedado, is a very nice area of Havana. Not what you would expect a kidnapped person to be.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. And the woman that was the owner of the house didn't know about that.
Wait, what?
Who's that? No one. It's my friend.
Two women were involved with the 26th July. They didn't say to her mother, okay, we are going.
Hold on. So mom owns the house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And her basically, her shitty kids are part of the 26th of July movement.
Yeah.
Keep them here.
And they're like, oh, no, my mom will be cool with it.
She's not going to know. She's just going to think it's our friend. We'll watch him.
The first words to Fangio was, Mr. Fangio, sorry about this. I apologize. But, okay, come. And of course, he was treated as at the beginning with respect, and he was comfortable.
And mom now has to make him something.
Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah, Mr. Fangio, did you eat something? No. Would you like something? Yeah. So.
Buenas tardes. La calle Norte, la que es una herradura.
Bueno, usted dobla por ahí y esa calle es una herradura, se llama Coli. Y a lo mejor va y...
Ahí puede ubicarse mejor.
Gracias. Esa calle es una herradura y termina ahí mismo, en esta misma... esa calle termina ahí adelante, aquí mismo, en esta.
Okay. Bueno, gracias.
Gracias.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
La calle Norte, que es una herradura.
Esta es la calle Coli, entre 28 y 30, por la calle Norte no se pudo ver.
Es una calle que es una herradura aquí en Nuevo Vedado.
Bueno, a no ser que sea esta.
Gracias. Gracias.
Buenas tardes. Familia, la calle Norte, ¿dónde es? Que es una herradura. ¿No? Gracias. What the hell? Look, are you sure where we're going?
Yes, I know. I don't remember, but
I can see that.
it's real. It's real, please.
Buenas tardes. Familia, ¿conocen más o menos de por aquí? Hay una calle que se llama Calle Norte, que es en forma de herradura. ¿La conocen?
¡Eh!
No, vamos a dando vuelta con cojones. Y yo dije, esta gente van a saber.
¿A quién sabe?
Okay, so this is the last house that Fangio stayed at?
Yes.
Exactly.
And can we go check it out, you think?
I hope so. I don't see any dogs.
No.
Es interesante saber que incluso personas más jóvenes que no conocieron eso personalmente, valga la redundancia, y sin embargo está apasionada por la historia de tal forma que la mantiene, lo conserva.
Si lo conservamos y le damos mucho valor a lo que ocurrió en ese momento y a la personalidad que estuvo aquí.
Claro.
Por lo tanto, hay que conservarlo.
Qué bueno conocer fans de Fangio.
So when they moved here, did they know what this was?
Cuando ustedes se mudaron para acá, conocían ya de la historia, sabían qué cosa significaba esto o lo aprendieron.
No. O sea, sabíamos porque a mi suegra, cuando vino para acá, los vecinos lo comentaron y bueno, sabían la historia. Y siempre ella lo recordaba como una cosa bonita y nos hacía la historia a nosotros. Yo era soltera y ya mi suegra falleció y siempre nos hablaba de eso, de Fangio. Y ya lo otro, pues entonces yo tenía la curiosidad y seguí buscando por internet acerca de la vida de él, sus carreras, todos los lugares que estuvo desde joven. Y entonces, bueno, empecé a recopilar fotos y hice, en la pared puse dentro de la casa un área con fotos de esa época.
Can we see it?
¿Podemos verlo?
Sí, como que nos pase.
So Fangio slept upstairs?
Entonces Fangio durmió arriba, en una habitación de
Sí,
arriba.
porque arriba están los cuartos y él dormía en la habitación del lado acá.
Claro, yo sé que están trabajando ahora ahí, no
Sí,
queremos
porque
molestar mucho.
están arreglando el cuarto.
Do people come by often to see this?
Muchas personas vienen a ver y preguntar.
O sea, ustedes son las primeras que los dejo entrar.
Wow. They say that we are the first that we allowed it coming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Gracias.
Es una cosa nuestra de familia. Las personas normalmente llegan hasta la parte de afuera, se tiran una foto en la tarja o desde la calle, pero primera vez que dejo pasar a alguien.
Gracias, nos sentimos honrados con eso.
Next morning, it's race day. He's not going to be there.
No.
If I'm Fulgencio Batista, the president of Cuba, my biggest star has been kidnapped. What do I do with the race itself?
They must keep going because if not, it's a double fail, I think. Not having function, not having racing.
Curiously, though, Fangio's car is still on the grid.
Jammer Tony,
his manager.
His manager was part of the organization, so he was interested of getting all in order to get his money.
Did you say interested in getting all in order? Like getting everything in order, meaning his 15%?
I mean...
Okay, you're too classy to say it, but that car is withdrawn from the race. They don't get their prize money from being a participant. So that car is going to be on the grid, whether it has a driver or not.
They found Trintignant, Maurice Trintignant, to drive the car. So Jamba, or Jambertoni, he was knowing that Fangio was okay in some way, because the information that the group gives to the press.
Well, him having the car on the grid doesn't mean he's not concerned. But if you were abducted, I'd want my cut.
Yeah.
Like, I'd put the car on the grid.
What cut? What the hell is happening right now?
But would you not be annoyed?
Yeah, I'd be f***ing pissed.
Like, wait, you didn't do that? Why didn't you put the car on the grid? Would you not be a about it?
Especially if I knew I was going to be okay, like 5 minutes into the kidnapping. I'd be like, dude, come on. I texted you. I said I'm fine.
I'm on Giamba's side on this one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally fine
And
with
don't
him
forget
collecting
about the shock to Jamba. Maybe he say,
The what?
okay.
The joke. Yeah, the prank.
Yeah.
He's like, you get me arrested,
Yeah.
I'm getting my 20%.
Yeah.
The other thing is that he was on pole for the race, right?
Yeah.
So his car is the first car on the grid. He's the most famous driver on the planet. He's not going to be there.
No.
Are you a fan of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul?
Yes, both.
Do you have a favorite character?
Definitely. I really like Mike Ehrmantraut. That guy was badass.
If we were to do an entire episode from inside the kidnapper's house that Fangio was in a Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul style, what would it look like inside that house?
The dinge, the dark atmosphere.
Yeah. So we would have to recreate dinge.
Yeah, I think so.
The morning of the race, he wakes up, he's safe, he's refreshed. It's said that many members of the 26th of July movement came in to meet him and explain their cause and make him a sympathizer and that sort of thing. If Vince Gilligan directed it, what do you think the conversation would look like?
I think the lawyer,
Saul Goodman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would be Perez, Faustino Perez. Okay. Quiet, very short man. Say, okay, Fangio, don't worry about anything.
Not maybe like Gus Fring?
Gus Fring. Oh, the chicken.
The chicken guy. The man who had the chicken store. Never mind. I'm just saying. I think he should be more like Gustavo Fring, and I'm making him. If Vince Gilligan was writing this and it was about people sitting in that house for 12 hours while the race goes on, what kind of conversation would they have, do you think?
I think they would have had an intense conversation. People would have cried.
Really?
Yeah.
In terms of telling their stories?
Yeah, and like the intensity of emotion. I mean, you know, I imagine that the people who were there, including the kidnappers, they don't have very many opportunities to like break down and feel and speak about why they're doing things. That night when Fangio was there, he must have been deeply moved.
If this was a Vince Gilligan show, there would be a cast of characters that would come through. Do you think people will understand that we just have one character because we can't afford any other actors?
Y bueno, hay opiniones diversas si vio o no vio la carrera. Es decir, he oído comentarios de que no la quiso ver y otras personas que dicen que sí, que la vio y que en el momento del accidente se levantó. Porque aunque no digamos que fue que él fue previsor ante el accidente, cuando él hizo la primera vuelta de la eliminatoria, dijo, esta curva es peligrosa.
Race started 1.5 hours late without Fangio. Along Havana's scenic Malecon Sea Drive, entries of 12 nations set a scorching, impatient pace. Then, one car's oil line bursts, another hits the slate. Six spectators die, 31, including the driver, are injured.
On the 5th or 6th lap of the race, there's a tragic accident. A driver loses control, ends up going into the crowd, killing people.
This is the curve. Armando Garcia Cifuentes lost the control of his Ferrari here, and he drifted for a long distance. There was a park here named 4th of July. It's in front of the American Embassy. You can see all those pictures.
So he lost control around that bend,
yes.
Sees the gas station, decides to try to crash over here. That's where it all goes wrong.
Yes, he knew that it could be really, so much worse if he hits the gas station. It could be really, really, really worse than it was. But it was really bad, 6 people killed. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's awful. Fangio is watching this on television and thinks to himself, wow, I just avoided being potentially caught up in that accident because of this
very strange situation I find myself in.
Maybe these guys, the kidnappers, make me a favor. Maybe if I race this race, who knows?
Race is over. It was tragic, ends very quickly, but Fangio does not race. What happens next?
So now comes how to free Fangio.
How do we let him out?
How to let him out?
Durante el gobierno de Batista habían varios órganos, bueno, como lo tienen todos los países del mundo. No solamente la policía, pero también había un buró de represión de actividades comunistas, anticomunistas, estaba el servicio de inteligencia militar, estaba la policía nacional, que tenía un grupo, un gran grupo de personas persiguiendo.
And he was really concerned about the next movement, so
Fangio was.
Yes.
So in other words, it's been fun and games to this point. Yeah. He's on for the ride, but he's realizing the ride's about to end.
Yeah, he's like, what now?
But that could also be nerve-wracking because you are dealing with kids.
Children, yes.
Yeah, and this is soda.
Yeah.
They end up having this conversation about what will happen when he's released. And the notion that he might be released and Batista's people would assassinate him and then blame the 26th of July movement, the opposition in general, for his assassination was at top of his mind. And so it's Fangio that introduces that idea. They hadn't really thought of that as an issue.
Yeah, well, he's fearing for his life.
Exactly.
So he's like, guys, I don't know if you thought about this.
Exactly.
So from the moment they pick him up at the hotel, how long is he basically kidnapped?
Like 24 hours, so basically a day. Yeah. I mean, he's there for a day.
Yeah, I think it's officially 29.
29 hours.
I'm happy on my own. Making cars.
So his car is the first car in the grid.
Yeah.
He's the most famous driver on the planet. He's not going to be there.
No. And he's watching somewhere. What's
like, what are they going to do?
In a living room that we've been in.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah. Having breakfast and then...
Yeah, he's like, he's eating popcorn, like, what are they going to do? Yeah, it's mine. Yeah. He's like, hey, that's mine. And there's some mom who has no idea what's happening. Is like, neat. You done with that? Like,
I'll go ahead and get the plate for you.
Exactly. You done? Yeah.
Mr. Fangio, we have the newspaper for you from today. Okay, thank you.
But leave the good. My dad likes the good pages. Don't wrinkle it.
Oh, waiting for me to come home. Staying up till 3 a.m.
We have a wardrobe department now. Tanya is officially wardrobe for wiping all the dust off.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Okay, quick update. We were approached by one of the people that work here. They offered us 3 flavors. What were they?
They were Minta, which is mint.
We think.
Naranja, which should be orange.
Orange.
And piña, which I believe is pineapple.
Okay.
And definitely not chocolate or vanilla.
Yeah, the 2 things we were like, we'll just get chocolate vanilla because we're dumb.
And she laughs at us like we're
like we were idiots for thinking they would have those 2 flavors.
I don't know what would have otherwise given away the Americanness, but apparently we just really laid it out.
And I do want to give you credit that we have been to Mexico City, and we've now been to Cuba, where your Spanish has helped us a lot. But when the waitress came over, gone again, right?
Somehow in the last 30 minutes, it's all gone. When I'm really under pressure with tourists asking me where to go, gone.
Got it.
Customs, no problem.
For the record, who won the 1995 Indy 500?
Jock Billman.
So you still have your, you still got your power.
Still in my 1990s Indy car.
but ice cream.
Yeah.
In Spanish.
So, 2 años para español en la second de la escuela. Está bien, pero ice cream.
We're on a road trip.
There are legitimate concerns from either Fangio or from the folks at the 26th of July movement that if they hand him to the police, to Batista's people might kill him as almost like a false flag operation to say like, oh, look what they did to Fangio, these evil rebels.